of. Next slide. Next slide, please. The system is hanging. Okay, let's just give 1-2 minutes to the technical team to resolve this. Otherwise, if it delays, I will just talk you through it, and then we will send the slide to the schools. We will send the 2 slides that we'll present today to you. Don't worry. So what we want to talk about is to let us look at the situation of energy globally. Brighter students, are you paying attention? You are listening with your ears. You're not listening. We want to tell you the situation of energy globally and then the future holds. Mr. Godwin, is it going to come up? Okay. So we'll show you what the future holds, and then what we expect you to do. Get the students that are with NMPC to come. Five minutes. Okay, just put some music. Yeah. And let them take. So 5 minutes, you can just take your lunch. You can close the, put some music, and 5 minutes. They just take their snacks and we run through. Thank you. Sorry, please. That gives opportunity for the other students that are being interviewed by NMPC to join us. Hello? All right, sit down, Mike. My mic, I leave, please. Sit down. Those that are just coming, please take your food. They'll give you your food. You see snacks, food. Just take any one you want to take for now while in 30 minutes, we'll close. Then you can go back to school and go home. David, the gift you collected over there, start taking it down to the principals. They will know she collected from chair for you. Just bring it to the front, to the principals, and they will chair. So, you're welcome back. So, we're going to run a quick one. You have seen all the challenge. This entire conference in the last 5, 6 days has been energy. So, let's know what this is about. Next slide, please. Now, we're going to run through this like this. We're going to look at energy and its importance to society. Please pay attention. Don't get distracted. Just pass that thing quietly. This thing is good. It's good that you have this, but the real reason you came is what you were told in the morning, what you have seen, and what you have been told now. So we'll look at sources of energy. We'll look at energy in Africa. We'll look at energy potential of Africa. Like we told you, this is a Pan-African conference, bringing Africans together to look at what is the energy problem. I'm sure that most of us left our homes this morning, there was no power. We look at energy transition. Something is happening around the world today. They call energy transition. What is it? We conclude, and then the big question for Africa. Next slide, please. So, quick one. You should all know this. You are senior secondary school students. Most of you are science-based. Energy is the capacity or ability to do work. The ability to do work. Energy is essential for most activities of modern society. In fact, there's nothing you can do in this modern, if the power goes out in this conference right now, almost everything will shut down. You saw that just because we could not get the slide up, we had to wait. Man on the cap. You are talking. You are distracting the section. You are distracting the section. Mr. George, if he has a challenge, maybe you should attend to him. So, and you have seen that, yes, energy is used. Its use or consumption is generally taken as so people measure the prosperity. We talked about, eat and don't talk. We talked about countries being poor, some countries being rich. The way they measure whether you are rich or poor is actually how much energy you have. How much energy. Must you talk and talk? Your teachers are listening, principal is listening. You that is still coming behind, you are the ones not listening. So you need to understand the importance of energy in the world. Next slide, please. Sources of energy. Next slide. One by one. Go to the next one. No? Have you jumped from source of energy? So there are two sources of energy. And you know this as well. There's one called non-renewable energy sources. And there's another one called renewable energy sources. Next. Now, let's take them quick one. What are non-renewable? These are sources that you can only use one time and then they can never be used again. Not one time as in once. Once you exhaust them, you cannot use them again. Examples are coal, oil, gas. You see, Nigeria has a lot of non-renewable. We have gas, we have oil, but once you exhaust them, you can't replenish them. You have to look for somewhere else where you have them. Like in Africa today, some countries that did not have oil, they are very talkative and distractive. There are countries that do not have oil, did not have gas in the past, but today, they are seeing them. Mozambique, Senegal, Ghana. In this conference, Ghana came, Namibia came. These countries did not have gas and oil in the past, but today. So these are non-renewable. You find them when you use them, like in the West, in Europe. In UK, they have a place called North Sea. North Sea had a lot of oil and gas in the past, but today, it's all, they've drilled and drilled and drilled. It has brought prosperity to the UK, but it's getting finished. Hello? We don't accept that. Is that okay? Next slide, please. Now, what are the advantages of renewable and non-renewable? And what are the disadvantages? And petrol, we use it in our car. We use diesel. You can get more energy from there. Non-renewable produce more power after refining process. Thousands of units that women use, the rubber shears, so many products. From gas, you can have so many products from this energy. Then, but what are the disadvantages? Non-renewable energy leads to pollution. You are hearing about they destroy the ozone. The ozone layer is the protection that human beings have from direct rays of the sun. So they are depleting it, they are destroying it. That's why the world, we will come to that. What you are seeing, climate change and all these things we talked about. And plants and animals face the same problems humans do with non-renewable. Non-renewable energy refinement may have adverse effect on environment. That's the point. Please, Davida, if anyone has come that has not had me, please bring for them. Ma, have you been given your food pack? Okay. So, renewable energy source, what are they? Renewable energy sources that can be used over and over again. These are energy sources. You will use them, it depletes, you can fill them back again. Examples of such sources are solar energy from the sun, wind, hydro means water, tidal wave, geothermal. For all these things, you can replenish them. You use them. You cannot. Can you exhaust the sun? Can you exhaust the sun? You can't exhaust the sun. So that's why they are called renewable. Let's see the advantage and disadvantage. So we've seen the different type. You know what they mean. Wind power, solar, sun, hydro, from fast-moving water. You can generate biomass and all this. This will be sent to you. You will see them. Next, take the sun, take the wind. You can't up front. That is to start it. You see, if you take just a gallon of fuel, the energy you will have from there, if you want to get it from solar, you may have to take half of this room with solar panel to get the same thing that, but it's cleaner, but you use more effort. You have to build machines for all this. Now, renewable energy are intermittent. The sun, is it shining all the time? Because the earth is what? The earth is rotating and it's revolving. So if the part of the earth that you are, if it rotates away from the sun, you become night. It's dark. You don't have the sun. So if you are depending on that solar energy at night time, what happens? Is the one that you have saved in the day. You can, once it's done, until you face the sun again. So that's the challenge. Renewable energy have storage capability. You have to store. And renewable energies have geographical limitation. If you go to the Western world, the amount of time they have sun in 12 months, it's not much. Maybe 1 month out of 12 months. So it's tough for them. Renewable energy aren't always 100% carbon free. Sometimes then diving to Nigeria. Now, energy in Africa. Africa is a continent with vast energy resource. I'm telling you, no other continent has the kind of resource. When you say resource that you can use for energy, like Africa. No, both non-renewable and renewable energy sources are banned across the land and ocean territory of Africa, right? Despite these abundant resources, Africa has been unable to meet its energy demand. This is manifested through lack of thriving manufacturing industry, resulting in massive importation of finished products. Do you know how much the dollar is to $1 to 1 naira now? It's about, if you go to the dollar is becoming so expensive. Why? Because they have the resource, but they are all running to import. There's a problem. Africa currently has the lowest energy utilization in the world. The lowest in the world. Africa currently has the lowest per capita electricity. That is, if you divide the population in Nigeria, for example, and you say, okay, What is Nigeria generating? Let's divide it. So how much energy does each person has in Nigeria? Is the lowest in the world, Africa. For more than a century after the light bulb was invented, most of Africa continent is dark after 9/4, and that is true. See, when I travel abroad, you know when you are coming back. Because when you are going, as you cross, maybe you are going to US or DC, as your weather is, anytime you enter, especially in the night, you will just see all the cities light. But when you are coming back, you will just see either a car is moving here or one generator. You just know, yes, it's coming back. It's true. It's just that it's not easy. You can't take the picture from plane, but you just see it's obvious. There's darkness around. Once you enter the African continent, you start seeing it from up there. The situation in Africa holds back the development of the continent and its people. You just see it across. Somebody said it, yes. Yeah. It was when they were rescuing their boat in the Mediterranean that she gave birth. How can you in that condition? That is that level of desperation. And it's not affecting the government to have to think. I decided I cannot watch this thing again. I don't watch those news anymore. So now, look at this. They say a picture tells 1,000 stories. This is telling you the different energy in different places. You can see from United States, that is, if you divide the population, how much energy you can give to one person compared to what they generate. So what you generate divided by the population. In US, one person is allocated about 1,300 and something. It comes down to Nigeria, you will see 30. Go to the next slide, you see it more clearly. So the next one, next slide. The slides are not showing fully. No, if you go up, go back. I don't know why, but this thing did not come. But what that will show you, go to the picture back. The picture, go to the picture we were looking at. Yeah, so you would have seen if the other ones came, but you can see Nigeria. That is, somebody in this country has you are located about 17 watts. That's what you can get daily. I mean, some bulbs are even 30 watts. Some are 11. So that means if you divide what they get, because the whole generation in this country is between 3,000 megawatt to 4,000. If you divide by over 200 million people, how do you allocate it? Somebody only has one bulb he can use. So let's go ahead. Go ahead to the next potential. But look at the potential across Africa. Non-renewable. Fossil fuel, crude oil, natural gas, coals are vital energy sources. And that play key role not only in Africa but across the world. Africa has vast potential. Africa accounts for 7.5, and 3.6 of the proven reserve of crude oil, natural gas, coal in the world. I don't want to start taking you through all this because we are here. If we were giving this presentation maybe in Japan, it would be difficult because you are not here. You don't know what we're saying. But you are right here. Even in a conference like this, international, inside that hall, they took power like 3 or 4 times. It was so shameful for me personally. Because this is a global conference. How can power fail? You mean we cannot even manage 5 days when people are coming from all over the world? Let's go back. The situation in Africa is holding people from developing. Next, please. Next slide. See renewable. Do we need to say, is it sun? We probably have sun more than 6 months in the year. Right now, the heat is so intense. In the night, this is energy. But it's not. Is it wind? Go to north, go to wind is every year. Is it ocean, river? When I rounded up my PhD in Glasgow, Scotland in 2009. Is it 2009? Yes. 2009, they were doing something in the workshop. At first, I didn't understand. It was when the professor was saying that this is a tidal, this thing. That is, they want to hook it under the river so that the bottom, this thing, as it's turning it, is generating. So they was doing that model. And by the time I finished, when I checked back, I came back January 2010. I checked back the school website. They have deployed it. They've opened a company, the school, and they are using that now. All those things are under the ocean. As the thing is moving, electricity is coming up. Next slide. And now, to make matters worse for Africa, I told you that the Western people, these rich people, they have exhausted their non-renewable, the oil, the gas. Now, what is going on now? The world is saying, this climate problem we are having, all this too much heat, too much tsunami, this and that we need to move from those fossil fuels. They are no longer good. We should go to non-renewable. And so Africa now, while they are discovering more oil and gas, the other part of the world say, we will not even spend money, we will not sponsor anything fossil fuel again, anything oil, gas. In fact, by now the situation would have been terrible because they have already almost stopped it until Russia invaded Ukraine. That made them, because Russia cut off many things. Gas supply cut off the war from, so, and they have winter. They had no option than to go back to gas. It distorted a lot of things. That is what has made them to slow down a bit. So that means that we need to understand what this energy transition is about. African youth, you need to position as you are studying so that you are not caged. A time will come that even your non-renewable, your crude oil, your grass, if you are not careful, they are still there, but nobody. They have closed the whole world. You have to. Now in this conference, because the Western world will not, like the World Bank, IMF, they will not give a loan to any company if you say you want to use that loan to drill crude oil. They won't do it again. So what is Africa? There's no money. Africa now, they are trying to establish what they call the African Energy Bank so that Africa have to look for their own money now. All the banks in Nigeria put together, only one bank in Nigeria is stronger than all of them. The kind of money you need. So it's a situation that you guys need to think. That's why you are coming to this conference year by year. Start thinking. Otherwise, it will be still crossing Mediterranean and still finding way. Next, energy transition. Next, please. Energy transition involves a change in the primary source of energy. The current transition that you are hearing in the world today is a transition from fossil fuel, which Africa has a lot, especially Nigeria, to low carbon energy sources. Next. So far, transition have been happening over the years. They've moved from traditional biofuel like wood to coal. Comida is saying that, sorry, we cannot follow you people. We need to use our gas. But you have to act. Your gas will just be with you there. Nigeria at least have been able, and some African countries have been able to go to the world. They have what they call the Conference of Parties, COP. Since 1995, every year is a climate change conference. They started in Germany. This last year, 2023, it was held in Dubai. The Western world are very serious about this energy transition. They are telling every government, you must tell us which year you want to stop. They have said by 2050, they don't want anything oil, gas, all these fossil fuels are spoiling the environment. But Africans are saying, it's because your own are finished. The time that your own was there, when we didn't have, you didn't say it has ended. But the question for us is 56, you know how many years between 1956, you have been exporting crude oil. What have you done with the money? Yes, your research institute. 90% of the equipment. That's why they are all looking for dollar. So what did you do with the money since 1956? At least gas. They started exporting gas since 1999. At least this is 20-something years. Here's the money. So don't think that somebody is cheating you. You are cheating yourself before anybody even started cheating you. So that's why you are not seeing the purpose for making the student for you to come. So that when you are studying your science, you are studying, it is serious business. Otherwise, the world will just shock Africa. You will become, what you are seeing now might become a child's play. If you don't rise quickly, we have gas. At least the government is standing and saying, no, we don't agree with you. We are not going to move to renewable now. Africa will move later. We are still with our gas. Nigeria is saying gas. We must use the gas because we have a lot of it. But you don't just talk. You have to do it. You have to act. Next, please. Next slide. Now, the transition of the energy system towards low carbon is driven by the need to address climate change. We know, but this is what is going on. I'm just going to summarize so that the students understand the politics that is playing. It's very big politics. Don't think it's a joke. Yesterday, there were some group, Dr. Victor, I think those groups came here, Hydrogen, from Jama. They are serious about it. They are in Nigeria. I know them. I know the guy, Olabode. We work together. They are serious. They are pumping money. So this is what they are saying. We want to transit to renewable. But Africa is saying, no, we are transiting to low carbon. The problem is the carbon dioxide. It's not the renewable. So don't say the transition is to solar energy or wind. It is to low carbon. So what do we need to do? You now have to think of technology to remove the carbon from your crude oil, from your gas. If there's no carbon, so what's the problem? But these people, because they don't have the crude and the gas, they will not pump money to research that for you. You have to pursue it to say, how do we decarbonize our crude, our gas, so that nobody can say it's polluting the environment? Are we ready for those research? All the parents are making plans for their children to take off. The people will not do the research. They don't have this product anymore. They are not interested in it. You are the ones. They are finding every time now. They are finding more African countries are finding crude, finding gas. Next. So decarbonization is one research area. What did I say? Decarbonization is what? Brighter. Decarbonization is what? You have to remember it is how do we remove carbon dioxide from our crude oil and our gas. So when you go from your secondary school, when you go into your university, you start thinking, what do we do? The guy who has Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, the guy who has WhatsApp today, he started thinking from when he was in secondary school. The same thing with Microsoft, Bill Gates. They were thinking from Tesla, the richest man. They start thinking, you have to start thinking. How do we decarbonize so that they will not say your crude is polluting, your gas is polluting? We will say it's not polluting. This is the evidence. Go on, please. Go on. Yes. When should we transit? It should not be everybody. Don't force us to say, hey, stop all the oil, this thing, start using solar now, start using. Yes, we will use that, but we cannot depend. We need to use what we have. But you have to, and because of the pressure, what Nigeria president did, former President Buhari, 2 years ago in Glasgow, when they had this climate change conference, he had to sign and agree because you can't withstand the pressure from the West. They are very powerful. They are very rich. He had to sign. The climate change said by 2050, any source of energy that is bringing carbon dioxide have to stop. Now, Nigeria had to agree that we cannot do it by 2050, but by 2060, we will do it. This is 2024. That means you have to take your oil fast, take your gas. Because I'm not sure whether we have the... But if you people stand up, we use everything. We have renewable, we have non-renewable. China was very poor before. But like 30, 40 years ago, they started their NG, and today they are number 2. In fact, in another 10 years, they might take over from US as number 1. Next slide, please. So, balancing. It's about balancing. Right now, there's what we call energy poverty in Africa. There's poverty of energy. And without energy, like we started, you are going nowhere. Even your mobile phone. If the charge finished now, is it not gone? You know how many things, you depend on this thing for a lot of things. Communication, once it's gone, you are like, you can't talk to anyone. Not to talk about ironing, not to talk about so many things. Without energy in this time and age, sorry, you are cut off from the world, more or less. So you have to abandon gas and just follow you people. We don't even have the technology because you will still be buying from them, the solar buy. We don't even, but we have our gas. Please, don't push us. We will take our own time. But you have agreed 2060. They are going to come after you. Now they will not, even as at now, no one of them will give you money. Say you go and borrow from this thing because you want to drill gas. Nobody will give you money. You have to look for your own money. But by 2060, they will say you have said, you have said. Next slide, please. So, how should energy transition take place in Africa? Like I said, we have to focus on decarbonization. So, we have to define that the transition is to move to low carbon fuel. It's not to move to renewable. That is the definition that must take place. It's not to move to renewable. Renewable is part of energy mix, but we are not canceling non-renewable. The transition is to move to low carbon fuel. That means we have to now decarbonize our fuel. Go on. So, this is what a successful transition to bring variety of solutions, not just one. Go on. Yes. So see all the people involved in the transition, businesses, policymakers, think tank, NGO, you saw them, you were there. All these discussions. Go on, next slide. So what are we concluding? So we are going to conclude, if there's any question, I hope you have been listening. We are going to conclude, and if there are questions, we'll take them, and then we can then take a vote of thanks from the two principals, and then we close the session, and then we will also thank the organizers. Now, what are we concluding? I'm going to read this so that you can have it in your mind. It is evident that modern energy is crucial to realizing various economic and social goals relating to poverty reduction, improvement on healthcare delivery, providing qualitative education, enhancing quality, equality, entrenching environmental sustainability. One of the biggest barriers to Africa's development and prosperity is chronic lack of electricity. Hello, Brightash. Come. No. I think I need to reposition you. Come. What's your name? Come. Please be fast. We don't have, come and sit here. You are causing a distraction to the people all around you. Sit here, please. Let them sit there. This is important, so we have to compel them to listen. We don't know, one or two of them might pick up the challenge. I'm telling you, listen, you see this mobile phone? Before, there's something called N.I.E.S. To get a phone line, just as you do electricity, you have to drag the wire from N.I.E.S station, pole. In fact, Nigeria that time had over 100 million, less than 700,000 had phone. And it's the one you see, carry handset. It has to come to your parlor, to your sitting room. But somebody thought out of the box. Is there wire now? It's satellite. This is what saved Nigeria, that we can communicate to this. Who told you that some of you cannot design something that we don't even need the electricity per wire? You You will just carry one small thing and just power your factory. You must think, otherwise you sink. Did you hear that? What's your name? Huh? What? Mikel. You must think. Running to another man's compound while your own is overgrown with snakes and all that is not the solution. It's a temporary solution. So we are saying that one of the biggest barriers to Africa's development and prosperity is chronic lack of electricity. This continues to trap millions of people in extreme poverty. A barber will be struggling just to get petrol. Imagine if there was constant electricity, he just has to pay. Over half. Please, the slides are not showing. Let's go back. We'll just read the conclusion. Yeah? 37 have national electricity below 50%. As a result, quality of life is severely diminished. I don't think we need to, we are living the thing, we see it every day. If you just go outside this ICC now, poverty is everywhere around you. It's everywhere. For Africa, the focus should be more on technologically driven and energy efficient industrialization. Are you ready? Students, are you ready to crack in now? And the people are telling us that the vaccine is not yet ready. We still need to go through. Say, bring it like that. Don't worry, if we die, let us die. It's better than... They never ask themselves, what is our own? A disease is ravaging the whole world. You are calling another man in his compound that bring me the thing now. The food is not yet done. Forget it and eat it like that. Just bring it home. You know, the people are... There's a sickness that needs to cure. Why are you calling them? Do you know that before some Nigerians knew and started doing the marks, they were all waiting for China for marks? You have to crack yourself. See, since we have been here now, because that's how they were, you don't blame them. It's what they have been saying. Why other students are somewhere in the lab? Some of the phones we use here is students from secondary school in China. They have experiment that they just sell to Africa anyhow. You just use it before 6 months, or your pack up. Let's go to the next slide that has next time we'll send you the PowerPoint. They would have seen all the pictures. Go down. No, go down to the last. Okay. See this example, something to think about. This time we are not comparing, compare Nigeria with US, China. No, Bangladesh. Bangladesh is a poor country like Nigeria, if not poorer. But see what they have done. They don't have anything close to what Nigeria has. Bangladesh is one country in Asia. Look at it. As of 2009, Bangladesh had only 3,200 megawatts of installed, that is power generating plant installed in the country. They can only produce 3,200 megawatts. As of that same year, Nigeria has 6,000 megawatts installed. Now, as of 2021, Bangladesh has increased between 2009 and 2021 to 25,514 megawatts. Nigeria still have installed capacity of 12,000. Out of that 12,000, because this is what we generate, you have to transmit all this wire you are seeing, those heavy poles, big poles, they are called transmission lines to bring the electricity from power generation to town, where you start distributing it to industry, to household. That is a problem itself. The transmission line cannot take up to 8,000. And out of that 8,000, by the time something called losses, and by the time it arrives to the cities, it's only about 4,000 left. But Bangladesh, that started below, is now at 25,000. Now, for gas and oil, Bangladesh has just 68%. In Nigeria has 76%. For hydro, 24. Coal, Nigeria doesn't use coal. Year of major gas discovery. Bangladesh only discovered gas in 2000 and what? And look what they used the gas to do in 2021. Nigeria discovered gas in when? We are still 3,000, 4,000 megawatts. And we'll be laughing. Don't laugh. It's not a joke. Because if you keep laughing, you will stay laughing. One year, they just say, Nigeria is happiest people on earth. And they were all happy. You see, we said it. We're happy. This, you see, one person somewhere just did one thing and say, you people are the happiest. My goodness. So you need somebody need to tell me if I've not taken my bath for 2 weeks and my skin is getting rotty. Somebody say, your skin is very fine, it's very fine. Say, I told you. That is the students, are you listening? Elizabeth, cool, are you people listening? I'm calling your names. If I know you people, I will call your names because it's serious. Mike, are you listening? It's a serious issue. It's not a joke. Without energy, you are finished. So you are not seeing the reason for the poverty. Next slide. The big question now for Africa. This is where we are stopping, and you will go back to school. Who will power Africa? Do you think that these people don't have their own problem? Is to come and power you? In fact, the more you are in darkness, it is better for them because you will keep importing their product. They can never come and power you. You think they are happy that China has become a problem to the West? Or you think China wants Africa to not become a problem to them? Why is it a problem? Come and compete with them. Don't blame them. Blame yourself. If you can't power yourself, if you are happy the way you are, everybody is building fence. Look, the insecurity is going to get worse because the pressure. Last week, I was told that a truck was bringing food and passing Suleja. The pressure, people jump inside the truck, push the driver out, and stole the food. And they can jump into your compound. You say, my father is rich, he send me abroad. Who will power Africa? Thank you. All right, it's almost 2 o'clock. Let's have, is there other mic or I will just take this one round? Okay. Let's just take a few questions so that the students can go back and still go home.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I want to appreciate you, Mr. Abraham, for what you just said. You asked the question, who will light up Africa? I want to ask that question to the young ones today. Please, I'm sorry, I'm not a speaker. Hello. I want to say something before you continue. In the Niger Delta, we have children as young as me and you, I'm not young, that are in the creeks. Please, I want you to listen to me. With all due respect, sir, just give me a few moments. That are in the creeks, cooking what they call crude oil. They cook the crude oil, they remove kerosene, remove diesel and all of that. They are now calling it Asari oil today, Asari fuel, whatever. And like he said, the politics got too much. The same oil that he said is illegal. Right in the sea, people are collecting it as illegal bunkering. I believe that one is legal. But I want to look at you today. The problem we have is lack of knowledge. I don't know, I'm seeing these children and I wish I was your age. Because I think it is time me and you rise up to tell ourselves. Nobody should tell us how we should do it. This is my Africa. It is your Africa. It is time we light it up and we change. China decided we do not want this from these people any longer. And it happened. I can see young men and women that are ready to make change. That is why you are here. Please, when you leave this place today, I didn't come to ask a question. I just want to charge your spirits. When you leave this place today, go back home. It might be 10 years from now, but it starts now. Go back home and begin to think. How can we use the crude oil we have? Nobody should come and tell me and you that our crude oil is going extinct. There are 276 products and beyond that we can use crude oil for. From the plastic chairs to medicines to a whole lot of it. If we don't want to use it for fuel or whatever, you can still use it for something else. But I've come to discover something about the Western world. They are now going extinct with crude oil and gas. And suddenly, it is Africa that they want to say, oh, if you do not do this, we're going to do that. Please, it's not a revolution, but I think it's also a revolution for the younger ones. Begin to think out of the box. There is so much you can do. There is so much inside of you. Our tomorrow is in your hands. If I cannot make a change, you and you can make that change. Please, thank you very much because you're going to light up Africa.
Please, thank you, ma. Thank you, ma. So you can see the passion that our mommy has just spoken. Why? So I say, please don't laugh. This is serious. She's already escaped, but your own. Because all of you sitting here, whether you like it or not, as long as the earth remains, you will have children. We're talking Nigeria signed 2060. That is 36 years from now, 35, 36. Some of you will be ministers. You better put your thinking cap, Abdullahi and co. Don't enslave yourself and your children. This is serious politics. The West are not playing. They have money. They are serious about what they are saying. If you don't put your thinking cap and go to the lab and bring solution. Any question? Students? Yes. Okay, let them ask over there.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Your name?
My name is Penny Ihaza.
Okay.
From Brightac Schools.
Thank you.
Okay, my question is, other West African countries are pressurizing African nations to stop the use of fossil fuels to prevent carbon emissions.
Yeah.
But what technology have they come up with to prevent that, to change the energy transition to prevent carbon emissions before the deadline time, 2015? What technology have they come up with themselves before telling us we should change?
You have just said it. They are not interested. They know what to do. But they are not interested because they don't have the fossil fuel anymore. They have done this thing. They have had oil and gas for many years, some over 100 years. Shell, all this, they came from outside. It's finished. You saw it. Not renewable. It depletes. They have suck and suck and suck and suck. That's why they are not interested. It's now you that have it. Some African countries just discovered their own. Ghana just discovered like 4 years ago that they have oil. We are finding oil in the north of Nigeria now. Mozambique just discovered a huge gas reserve. Senegal. You are the one to go and find out how to decarbonize it and counter them. So it's a lie. Our crude, our gas does not bring carbon anymore. We have found solution. Can you go to your lab? Or you want to japa? Questions?
Good day, sir. My name is Obidi Petaye. I'm from GSS Tuduwada.
Thank you.
And I wanted to ask if it's possible for we, the children, to join your organization in helping to change this.
Thank you. Well, we do have an organization, but we are all just consultants. We are partnering with the conference. We insisted from the beginning, 2018, that students must be part of this conference. And thank God that it has continued. But what you can do is in your school, they are teaching you now. Teachers are teaching you. All those things they are writing in the board, solving, they mean something. This is the electricity you are seeing. This is how somebody brought this thing. Something is in the space, and you are communicating. Go and think your own thinking. Do you understand? Do you understand? You can praise. Imagine the guy who did Facebook and WhatsApp. He started at 20-something. The man is still not yet. He's 39 years. Do you know how much he has? About $200 billion. He's richer than, if you gather African countries together, That one guy is not 40 years. Your brain will not only save people, it will reward you. You don't need to do 419. Problems are every year. Just go to your lab and think. Question?
Once again, good day, everyone. I'll first of all like to thank this organization for bringing all this together. We've achieved a lot of things, both knowledgeable and material. We would like to thank you very much, and we're very grateful. So my question is not actually...
Abdullah,
yes, sir.
You've asked before, so the others will know you. Yes.
Sir. It's not actually a question, it's a statement.
Yes.
If, like something my fellow student told me, if there is a possible way that we can do non-wireless communication, there is a possible way we can do non-wireless like electricity. So the problem is that we young students have the idea already. It's just that we need the government to support us. We need the materials. We already have the ideology. We just need the support and
go and write your proposal. Give it to your mommy. Your mommy will send it to us. We will go to the people to give it to. I've answered your question. We are waiting. Yes, let it burn, or we should not stop.
Yeah, sorry, Dr. Eju, it's a suggestion on her first question. I think maybe she wants a situation where they are part of something that will enable them continue on what you just thought. Okay. So is there a possibility of EBTS assisting the schools? It invites regularly to N.I.E.S to set up maybe decarbonization and energy transition think tanks, so that you can maybe prepare TORs or research areas, and they use that throughout maybe their first term, second term, and then by the end they now send to you and you review. And I think maybe that's the angle she's coming from.
Make a proposal and send to me, and then we'll work on that. Huh? We'll work on that, Dr. Victor. Yes. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
To respond to the student that asked. My name is Onome Wilkinson. I didn't introduce myself earlier. I run an NGO called Oloibri Oil and Gas Entrepreneurship Development Initiative.
Wow.
We have energy clubs all around, both online and offline. We've been teaching children, students about oil, gas, and alternative energy. So if there's tools that are ready to partner, we're always there. Thank you very much.
God bless you, ma. You have heard it. The challenge is open now. Question? Okay. Okay, ask your question, Elizabeth, and then we'll let mommy make a question.
Good day, everyone. My name is Elizabeth Abraham, and I'm from Brightak School. My question is there any research that is ongoing on this removal of
on decarbonization? No. Most of our students are going abroad to try. Look, in-house. How many of our universities and polytechnics are putting their secondary school? We should be hearing decarbonization. They want to trap us. No, we want to find solution, because you must provide evidence. You must provide evidence. So we must kickstart this from secondary school. Yes, mommy.
Thank you so very much for this program. Personally, I've been so much blessed being here. I want to make a comment, just like I said. The first thing you said is to reflect and act. I think that's the essence of being here. We've been having reflections, then we have to begin to act. Then to Madam Onome, please, we shall be in our school. Thank God you took my number. We shall be having a science week sometimes this month on the 14th. I wouldn't mind if you want to partner with us. Thank you so much. So we'll discuss later. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mark. Any other questions? Otherwise, we then take the vote of thanks from the two principals, and then we allow the students to go back. Okay, let's start from Brightash, Mr. George. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Abraham. I think I'll be going home with one statement. You say, think or you sink. He has said it all. And I really want to appreciate you, sir, for setting up this program for these young minds. And I know they will definitely go home with something, because just like she said, you've said it's now for them to execute the project. So I really appreciate you for all this, and I pray that may God give you the strength to continue to organize things like this for which they will all benefit. And for the young ones, I'm sure you are listening, you've taken down notes. You know the challenges we have now, and the ball is now in your court to see what you can do to help mankind. Because the problem now is energy. We all know that. So I really want to thank the head of schools and my colleagues, the organizers too, for setting up this. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much, Mr. Abraham. God bless you. Thank you so much.
A round of applause. So we'll call on the representative of the principal of Government Secondary School, Tutuwada.
Good afternoon, everyone. A lot has been spoken. When Dr. Abraham was talking, I feel like crying. Why do I say so? In Nigeria, precisely, we have a lot of educated men and women. And the support from the government is not there. That is why you see great men and women endangering their lives by leaving the country. And today, I thank God so much. Let me come back. I thank God so much for the people that organize this program. Not just them only. Like in my school, this program has been going on. If not Dr. Abraham that is here, just as to do that, would not only have the opportunity to be here. So I give thanks to him. And I pray that the grace that God has given to him, that grace will continue. And I also pray that he will not labor in vain. That these children that are here today, that you make him proud. That you will stand one day to say, if not Dr. Abraham, I wouldn't have to be where I am today. God will help you. The question is, who is going to light the Africa? Just as to do that. Are you there? Yes. I pray God will help you all. The fire is burning. And I want you to keep it burning until we get what we want. Nigeria is in your hand. The future of this country is in your hand. Are you going to leave it the way that our elders have put us to where we are today? No. I pray that God will give you that opportunity, the zeal to go ahead. God bless you. God bless the organization of this, the organizer of this program, Pastor Abraham, and your people. God bless you. I say, Pastor, Mr. Abraham, God bless you. Doctor.
Thank you.
God bless you all.
Thank you, ma.
And thank you for all the packages that you have given to my students, even with the teachers here. Remain blessed.
Yeah, so before we close, we'll hear an announcement from our mommy. God brought her.
Thank you very much.
This was not planned, though.
I'm actually excited. I'm in the house. For those that we have a YouTube channel, you might go up there and you see things about, we teach children about oil and gas. We also do what we call energy on the streets. We teach oil and gas with pidgin English. Hello. We teach oil and gas in pidgin English. We just started that one about 2-3 weeks ago because of my people in the Niger Delta. And all area scatter, we know. We don't scatter till they come off our hand. Hello, am I talking to people? We know how to carry bottle, we know how to block road, but we don't know, when we don't know the oil, we don't know the gas. Now the alternative energy we don't bring on, we don't know. Am I talking to people? So you can go to Ologed Initiative. Please just write it down. It's a YouTube channel. Check our videos. You see the one that teach children oil and gas, everything, small, and just keep following because we drop videos every week. Ologed Initiative. OLOGEDINITIVE. Yes, LVE, initiative.
Ma, please repeat it.
OLO.
OLO.
GETI.
GETI.
No, GEDD. Sorry for my voice. GEDI.
OLOGE.
DI. D for dog.
Yes. GEDI.
Yes, Olo get, then initiative. Just go to YouTube. Then on Facebook, Oloibri Oil and Gas Entrepreneurship Development Initiative. Then Olo get it. Just check it. You see, from time to time, we keep it. There's any question you have, please put it. We've also created games to make children understand oil and gas. There's so much we need to do. That's why we want to partner with a lot of schools. What we are trying to do is bringing energy to the streets, bringing energy to the grassroots. It don't too much. They don't hide knowledge from us. I'm a chemical engineer. I want my mothers to understand what we have in Nigeria so that they can stop to the scammers. Thank you.
Thank you, ma. Please, Micah, you collect everything from her. So we're going to hand over to the organizers. We're just going to rise up, take the national anthem, and we close. But I'll hand it over. But I want to thank the organizers. I want to thank Brevity Undersea. Thanks the Ministry of Petroleum Resources. Let's give them a hand of applause. We want to thank NNPC and thank the Nigeria International Energy Summit Group for the opportunity to be here. Thank you, sir.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much. Take the national anthem. Okay. Please let us be on our feet, please, for the national anthem. I think I will allow one of the students to lead us. Who wants to take the lead? Oh, this is my friend.
All right, so 1, 2, 3, go.
Arise, O compatriots, 90.
The legend of our heroes past shall never be in vain. To serve with heart and mind, one nation born in freedom, peace and unity.
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Adam, for a very beautiful and insightful session. For the students, I hope you have written down something. I hope you have learned. I hope you are not going back the way you came.
Yes.
And most importantly,
yes.
I hope even the teacher too have something to ponder upon. Thank you very much for coming, and I believe we'll see you next time. Lovely weekend. Wish you guys safe trip back home to various destinations. Thank you very much for coming.
Bye, everyone. Do have a beautiful weekend. Over.